Hi everyone, we're going to look at the assessment, which is your written report. So a few things I want to go through. Hopefully this works all right. Okay, so we're going to look at report writing. Now, there's also a drop-in session, which one of the academic skills staff are going to go through things such as referencing with you. There's some referencing things have changed. They changed mid last year. So you need to make sure that you have downloaded the current referencing guide, which is the Torrance University APA 7. You cannot just look at APA 7 on the internet because every university has slightly different referencing. So it's really important that you look at the referencing guide, but just remember there is a drop-in session coming up for that with referencing and academic writing for you. So we recommend that you use some databases, and that's actually one of the tasks. We do know that Medline has changed. It's now Medline Ultimate. So I know in your assessment brief it was called something else, but that's okay. Just make sure you use Medline Ultimate, and that will give you some good ideas for your reference article or your research article that you're going to write about as well. So here's just some other databases for you. You've got some examples there of Embase and Cinal. There is a database recording for you in the Padlet to have a look at how you can look at databases. And again, that would be something that we'll be going through with you with the academic skills session. There's also this library resource. So this will be available. I will post it up in a discussion forum for you. I'll also put it into the Padlet. And it's a great resource because it can help you with which ebooks to find, your search for micronutrients. And there's also on things a little bit of a database, how to get researching databases, what sort of search terms do you need to use, etc. So that sometimes can be a little bit confusing for students. So report writing is different than essay writing. Now, in report writing, you're going to present it in a structured format using headings and ideally using numbered headings. We have laid out an example of what a report with using headings would actually look like. If you're unsure, always check with your learning facilitator, your tutor, to make sure that you are doing it correctly. But have a look at the example that's in the assessment brief, and it's pretty much laid out for you. What's important is you remove the bits where it's got the word count, that suggested word counts. You don't leave, say, for 100 words introduction in. You need to actually take that part out. You need to include the Torrance University cover sheet. That's available. I've put that into the Padlet for you, so make sure you include that. There's just a statement in there saying that it's your own work, so that's important that you do complete that. Also on that form, it lists the word count. So if you want to develop your own and you've got a declaration there that's your own work and you've got the word count, that would be absolutely fine. But typically at universities, you do use the supplied cover sheet. Now, that is a PDF, yes, I know, and we have asked you to submit this as a Word document. Now, you all have access to Word. So Word is available as part of your Office 365. So when you sign into your email, before you get into MyLearn, sign in with Office 365, you go up to your top left-hand corner, you'll see there's like a waffle of all different sort of little squares. You click on that, and that will bring you up to Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and these are all apps that you've got free of charge as part of your Office 365. We request that you provide the actual report as a Word document. Now, you can submit multiple documents when you have a submission. And the good news is about MyLearn, if you want to submit more than one, so let's say you realized you submitted the assignment on Friday, it's not due till Sunday, you realized you left off an important document, you didn't put the research article in, you can resubmit and you don't have to ask anyone. It's there. There's probably a limit of how many times you can submit, but I do know students often do assignments in advance, go away, then realize when they come back on the Sunday evening that they've missed a document. Okay, it'll probably cut off after the submission time closes, so you won't be able to probably submit again if you've already submitted once the submission time closes. Make sure you read the frequently asked questions, which is available in the discussion forum for you, because it goes through some really important things. That's what the cover sheet looks like. It's a live document, so you can complete it online and then you just save it, upload it as a PDF, and that's your cover sheet. So let's have a look at the assignment. As I said, it must be submitted as a Word document. I know students have said to me in the past, they've submitted other assignments as other formats, but we request that you have this assignment as a Word document, and most of different faculties are moving towards that now as well. It is 1,500 words. Please make sure you use headings. It is a report. As I said, it is different than an essay. You're going to choose 2 micronutrients. You can choose any 2. They don't need to have to go together. Some students often ask that question, is it better for them to go together? It's your choice. What are you interested in, and what can you find some research on? So you've chosen your 2 micronutrients. Now, from one of those, you're going to choose to find a research article that must have been published recently. So we actually have a date on that. I think it's 2023. And you must write a summary of that research article. Please make sure that you put the author of the research article in your little information that you're doing a summary. So I like to, when I'm doing research, is saying, according to whoever it is, et al., they found that. So it must be some kind of like a recent research article. Try to have something that's maybe like a trial that can have, and it's something like it supports the use of a particular micronutrient that you've chosen. So remember, you've chosen 2 micronutrients. Let's say you did vitamin A and vitamin D. One of those, you're going to find a research article, and you're going to look at it for that it supports the use of supplementation, not dietary, supplementation in whatever disease. You might go, okay, let's go COVID-19. There was some good research that came out in terms of vitamin D usage to support maybe the effects of COVID-19. So look for something that's current, but again, if you're unsure, please speak to your tutor and we can always have more discussions on this. Now, you'll need to attach that report you've chosen as an appendix. So it'll be a PDF, so another document, and you attach it and you would just title that Appendix A. Okay, that's what the format looks like. You don't have to use that, but it gives you an idea of how to use a structured, numbered formats with headings and the approximate word counts. This is a question I often get asked, and students get a little bit confused about nutrient deficiency. So nutrient deficiency, people get a little bit confused between what's deficiency and what's insufficiency. So this is something that you will be going through in your tutorials, but it is a question in your assessment. So this comes back to something that you actually did in Human Nutrition 1. So you might want to look back at your textbook, because it does go through talking about the difference between toxicity and deficiency. If you're getting insufficient in your diet, then you're going to become deficient. So if you're getting insufficient, say, vitamin D in the diet, and you're not going out in the sun, you're going to become, more than likely, become deficient in vitamin D, especially you have some co-found or cofactors as well, such as olive skin, wearing lots of clothing, especially in winter, using sunscreen, etc. That's going to block some of those things. Now, in your report, you'll need a table of contents. That's going to be after your first page, and it's going to list the headings, etc. So here's an example of someone who's done a table of contents. As you'll see here, they've also put the page numbers, and this is where people often forget, but it's like you're opening up a book, has your table of contents, but it doesn't actually have page numbers. So important to include the page numbers. We've done a breakdown of what's included, what's not. If unsure of this, have a look at the frequently asked questions. So what is included? All text, including in-text references. Remember that you must include page numbers. You will be marked down if you do not include page numbers in your in-text reference. Every time you cite a fact, you must say where it came from. Tables with text will be included. What's not included is table with data, reference list, and the appendices. So if you're unsure, have a look at the frequently asked questions. They're located in your discussion forum and also in your Padlet as well. So in the introduction, you'll be going over this when we do academic skills, but it's basically an overview. It's around 150 words at the most. It's an overview of your paper. It doesn't tend to have too many references in there. You might have one or two, but it's really just an overview of the paper. You're telling the reader what you're going to discuss. The body of the report is really the meat, and it's going to tell us exactly what it is you're discussing. You can use figures and tables, and I recommend you use tables because they're a great way to display things such as your food sources. Use the NUTR app to work out how much is in a particular food source. I recommend tables for using your RDIs. Also, we're going to go through that. Remember that the referencing for tables and figures has moved to the top of the image. So if it's a table, the referencing is no longer at the bottom, it's actually at the top, just under the heading. So make sure you're using the Torrance APA 7th edition, which is located in your library. You've also got that extra subject there to give you some academic skills. Use BrainFuse as well if you want to pop your report in direct BrainFuse to get some feedback. I used it last trimester and it was good. It was really helpful. Remember that you must use page numbers in your in-text citations, and that referencing of tables and figures, etc., has moved to the top. Ideally, references are less than 10 years old, especially when things look at research. It has to be, it has to be current. Try to avoid overusing the textbook. What we often see is that students will use Whitney et al., which is the authors of Understanding Nutrition. They will use it as their main reference. At this level, we want you to start using some original research articles, maybe some systematic reviews, maybe, try to avoid just using textbooks, because remember that textbooks would be classed as a tertiary reference because it is not original research. On your reference list is use a hanging indent. This is standard APA 7. And ideally, you remove your hyperlinks as well. All right. Just also remember to check your referencing checker or your plagiarism checker, etc., and your own work checker is called Turnitin. It is a great app. If you check your work through Turnitin, it will highlight. And I popped this one. I just took some stuff directly from the internet and Turnitin brought it up like this. So it'll tell me exactly where the source is from. So for me, looking at that, I need to paraphrase first and foremost. The other thing that I've done wrong there is I actually have put no in-text referencing. So if I was to submit that, I would get reported for academic integrity breach because I've done a couple of things wrong. I haven't paraphrased it, haven't put it into my own words. I've just cut and pasted it from the internet, and I haven't actually cited where it's come from. So even though I put it into my own words, I still need to give credit to the person who actually came up with those ideas because I didn't do that research. So again, we'll be going through more of that in the referencing the academic skills workshop for you. So please reach out to your tutors if you have questions about the assignment, and good luck everyone, and let's keep the discussion happening.